بسم الله والحمد لله ولا إله إلا الله والله أكبر. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Today we want to continue again with chapter 23 Al-Mu'minun. Throughout this chapter, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is making the contrast, the comparison, the believers, the disbelievers. What Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants from the believers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and what the disbelievers are doing. And the nutshell or the last few verses of this surah or this chapter which we're at right now, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning one thing, that people can believe in God. People can recognize there is a Lord. People, and you see, or majority, a lot of people on earth, they said, oh, God, I worship God, there's a higher power, so on and so forth. I believe in a higher power. You hear that phrase all the time. But is this enough for you to be saved, not to be put in hell at the hereafter? No, it doesn't matter. The problem is, it doesn't matter what you believe. What matters is what God wants you to believe. So God wants you to believe in what? That there is only God worthy of worshiping, and who is Allah, and Muhammad is his last messenger and prophet. That's from there comes what? Is this enough? Even if you, no, it's not even enough. Your actions, what you do on a daily basis, what you, how you handle, how you interact, how you communicate, are these tests you are put throughout the day, are they confirming, are they confirmation of your belief or no? Allah likes practical tests. Allah doesn't like lip service. You want people practically prove their iman. And the highest claim that you are, the biggest you claim that, oh, I'm the worshipper, I am the closest to God, I am, the higher you'll be tested. These people who are not tested, who things are going very well for them, they already out of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and a lot of times, every rule has an exception. And a lot of times they're out of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's mercy. So the believer all the time, he will be tested. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning a verse number 98, 97, قُلْ رَبِّي أَعُوذُ بِكَ مِنْ هَمَزَاتِ الشَّيَاطِينِ. So, say, O Muhammad, and your followers, that please, God, let the temptations of the devil away from me. Let the influence of the devil, regardless how that influence will be, away from me. Why? Because Allah knows, the Prophet knows, the companion knows, of the Prophet knows, that whenever their closeness, or when they achieve something, they will be tested more. You see Umar ibn al-Khattab, one of the companions, and Abu Bakr, the biggest test they had, the followers of the Prophet, the companions of the Prophet, biggest test they had when the Prophet died. They needed to show leadership. They needed to show ability to, number one, unite. And the shaitan or the devil like to play games. Love to play games. Love to come between believers and try to make cracks. Make them disagree. Make them fight with each other. Make them hate each other. Make them start to murder each other. And that's why after, the third caliph, that's when they started the group of, they call them Khawarij, or it started the Shias, and it started all these factions we see in the Muslim Ummah. Because of what? Because of the tests, and a lot of people are failing that test. Allah has to test you. The test is going to keep continuing. But if you choose your ego, yourself, your money, your status definitely gonna lose. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling the Prophet and his followers to be aware that this will be harder. So you have to return to me and ask me for help. Ask me for help so I can remove. So when anybody, that tells us what? When you have any thoughts, negative thoughts about anything, negative thoughts, and you know these thoughts are not acceptable Islamically. It's not acceptable. Allah don't like that. Say, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Allah, I seek refuge in you from the devil. Then all these thoughts will go. So, وَأَعُوذُ بِكَ رَبِّي أَن يُحْضَرُونَ. Or, and also Allah, I seek refuge even more that they will come next to me. I seek refuge that they come next to me. That's another thing. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make a turn. As if He will tell us that those people who will not seek refuge in Allah, those people will be a follower. Because see, I want to say something to you and you do it, that means you follow me. And that's why the people who following the shaitan, like you see here, for example, the majority of people who live on earth right now are following who? The devil. The devil is in the driver's seat right now, taking the whole humanity behind him. You know, so many categories of people, disbelievers, so many people who commit associate partners with Allah on one side, people who, you know, very hypocrites on one side, people who are worshiping Jesus, people who were worshiping these Hindu gods, people who are worshiping these Tao gods, people who are worshiping different kind of gods. And people who commit the crimes, calling God names, calling the messengers names, you know. Why? The influence of the devil. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala after that, He bring us what? To these people will the devil succeed to influence, to control them. They will follow the devil. What's going to happen? They're going to die. And this what they're going to happen after that? They will regret what happened on earth. But again, regret, remorse, feeling sorry in the hereafter doesn't help you. Doesn't help nobody. This is earth. You live right now on earth. This is where the only place where you're going to change anything. After that, after you're gone, it's over. Then so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He said, حتى إذا جاء أحدهم الموت قال ربي أرجعون. Here you go. At the time when people, the soul is leaving the body, a person can see, because now you're leaving the world. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will open like a kind of window where you see actually what's going to happen to you. Is really scary scenes you're going to see, or a peaceful, lovely, peaceful scenes. And that is what it is. Once the death comes to the people, they will see the results. You know, when you go into the test center, doing all of these exams on the computer, boom, after you finish your test, you see your score. That's exactly what it is. You see your score on the screen. They tell you, some of the tests, they tell you want to keep your score or you want to decline or decline the score, so and you can retest again. You have that option. With Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when you die, it's over. And you're going to see the results. Your results are coming. That's why some of the people will say, When the death comes, قال رب ارجعون. Come, Allah, God, please. Now, they hear, recognizing God. They want to follow God. Let me come back. Let me redo the test again. It's over. What's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala answer? لَعَلِّي أَعْمَلُ صَالِحًا فِيمَا تَرَكْتُ. So I can do well. So I can stop killing innocents. So I can stop giving weapons to these regimes who are killing innocent people, torturing innocent people. Oh God, bring me back so I don't go to nightclubs. I don't watch my whole day watching movies. My whole day watching obscene and provocative scenes. Oh God, bring me back so I don't stop watching, stop looking, stop going to drink, stop wasting my whole time on social media. Bring me back to stop gambling, to stop alcohol, to stop. لعلي أعمل صالحا فيما تركت. Of what I have left. Bring me back so I can change myself. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, كلا إنها كلمة هو قائلها. Indeed, it's just a word he's saying. Why is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saying that? Why Allah doesn't bring people back to redo the test? Because Allah knows. And it's not even Allah knows, but remember, if you have a standardized test in any exam, the test on earth has to be standardized because it's the same, different questions, but the difficulty level is the same. Difficult questions, different questions, because people have to be tested. But the time of the Prophet, the time of the Roman, different times, different questions, but the difficulty level is the same. You have to make the choice. So when you have a standardized test, they tell you, if you do this exam within 5 years, your test score will be the same guaranteed unless you do a major change. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if he bring people back, okay, people got shocked. Then, they're going to come back. So what's going to happen? Relax again. The same friends around them who are asking them to do drugs, who are asking them to stay on nightclubs, they're asking them to having fun and go to doing whatever it is. Let me live my life. Let me have fun. Or others who will steal people money. Others will kill people. Others will spread corruption on earth. And then once you see the death, yes, but when they come back, they will relax. They'll be relaxed and they will do whatever they were doing again. So Allah is just. If Allah knows that they're gonna change, He will bring them. But for round 2, but they're not gonna change. And very important very important here to understand that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or the people, if you see somebody, student, they don't kick him out of college. Say somebody went to pharmacy school or medical school. You don't kick him out because he failed one test. No. They'll let him redo it. But he failed tons of tests. But that person, once he fell, or when he failed one test, doesn't he go back and realize, my God, I have to change. I have to change what I'm doing. I have to study hard so I can pass, so I can graduate? No. very few people who can change. But he will keep doing the same thing until he fails different subjects. And then they kick him out of college. The same thing with Allah. He'll give the exams, multiple exams on this earth to remind us. But if we keep failing it, it's over. Then the people will realize at the death, oh, it's over. Bring me back. He's not going to bring you back. Because he gave you already all kind of exams. And you will do the same thing again and again. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, indeed this is just lip service, they're saying. وَمِنْ وَرَائِهِمْ بَرْزَخٍ إِلَى يَوْمٍ يُبْعَثُ. Indeed, he will be left in the grave until resurrection. So the game or the test is over, then you'll stay there until resurrection. فإذا نفخ في الصور فلا أنساب بينهم يومئذ ولا يتساءلون. Indeed, when it will be blown into the trumpet, the people will be resurrected. At that point, there's no relations. People will not even remember relation. When the people even want connections, I'm connected to president, I'm connected to this CEO, I'm connected to this vice president, everything will be gone. Even connection, people will take this connection, there's no connections. Everybody's scared. يومئذ ولا, even they're not gonna, even in the different scenes, they're not gonna even be talking to each other. What is the bottom line? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is highlighting here is action. 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 فَمَنْ ثَقُلَتْ مَوَازِينُهُ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُفْلِحُونَ. Indeed, those who have actions, who are heavy on the scale, are those who are winners. Those who are the people who will succeed. How is that? What does that mean? It's not even any actions. ثقلت. Because some of the actions, if it's not done for the sake of Allah, if it's not done for the pleasure and you're only seeking God mercy, you're only seeking God pleasure, they're not going to have any weight. You did the donation because you are between your friends and you want to brag, or you want your friends to say, oh, look at this, he's a big donor. You're doing things to promote. You're helping refugees, or you're doing donations, to promote your business, to tell others, I give this much, I give this much, I sponsored this one. All of these are going where? All these actions are going in the garbage, unfortunately. They won't be even counted. The only action, that's why the devil is the one who tried to take, the devil is a robber. You know, when somebody have like $50,000-$60,000 out of the bank, and the robber is waiting outside, he's keep looking, he's going after you. You know, you go in here, you want to coffee shop, you're going to a business, you're going to the mall. He's looking for any time, for any instance when he can rob you. Same thing. The devil is trying to rob you from that action you have done. Then he will come a situation where people are talking about donations. I give this much to this organization. Are you going to shut up your mouth? Or are you going to, I give 50,000 or 1,000 or 10,000. It's over. There's no need for you to say, other than now you're bragging. Now you want people to say, you're a donor. They already said. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, your action at the hereafter has 0. Also including here the people who does action, the hypocrites. They go pray because people don't say they're not praying. They do donations because they want people to say, oh, they're donors. They're only here to please the people. That's their actions are gone also. So the action to have weight has to be sincerely for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Means you have to have actions nobody knows about them. Nobody knows about them. Wife or a husband or your kids or your family, nobody knows about it. You did this action only for the sake of Allah, between you and God. You have a proof? So that's the only action which you can like 100% get the reward for it. Because nobody knows about it. Try to please nobody other than God. Because God is the one who sees it. So try to have some of those actions. So the scale, your scale will be high, will be heavy in the day of judgment. ومن خفت موازينه فأولئك الذين خسروا أنفسهم في جهنم خالدون. And those who their skills, who they did the actions, some of them did the actions, but the actions has no weight because it's done to please others, please the people, to please the kids, to please the wife, to please the community, to please the society, to please you. It's not to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's not for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's not sincere for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What's going to happen? Those who have lost themselves. Why? Because yourself is going to be in hell. You're going to be tortured. I'm telling you, it's not worth it. If people just have a little bit, and that's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah Yasin, chapter number 36, He's telling the people. He's telling the people, أَلَمْ تَكُونُوا تَعْقِلُونَ? Didn't you have a brain? Didn't you have common sense to understand that you need to do the things and the right thing? So people who have, the other people who don't even have actions at all. If your actions are all sins, your actions are all bad deeds, gossiping, backbiting, cursing, no respect to nobody, what's going to happen? Disrespecting your father, disrespecting your mother, disrespecting everybody. And that's what we see right now. The youth don't respect nobody. So all of those, في جهنم خالدون. This is why they lost everything. In hellfire forever. أقول قولي هذا استغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين فاستغفروه إنه